What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. Having children is a huge responsibility. It takes time, takes money, and it takes a lot of effort and focus on making a better version of yourself that you yourself brought in the world with the help of somebody else that should be helping you. You guys agree or disagree? Obviously, a lot of people don't understand this, especially when they're younger and they start popping kids out of them. And I don't know who's around these kids that are having these kids that are not telling them this, or why this is not put into, especially girls when they're at a younger age, that having a baby is a really big deal. And same with boys. Who you put your seed in, is your responsibility to find the best possible match for somebody in your life moving forward that you can stay with and build something with, and then children come after. But somehow we always miss this equation. Today I want to tell you a story about this woman right here, 26-year-old Yvette Hernandez of Bristol, Connecticut. Shout out Bristol and shout out Connecticut. Guys, this woman right here basically left her son, abandoned him. He's 2 years old, in an apartment over top of the one she lives in, and she just left him. Just left him. And watch what she did and watch what she said after she was caught. Check it out.
A 26-year-old woman is facing charges after allegedly abandoning her 2-year-old son at an apartment in Bristol.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Patricia Del Rio is joining us live now from outside the Bristol Police Department. And Patricia, how is that toddler doing tonight? Well, we are told that the child is safe and he is with his grandmother, who is apparently willing to take custody of him. The mom apparently told neighbors that she no longer wanted to care for him. 26-year-old Yvette Hernandez was arrested by police following an incident October 9th, where she left her 2-year-old child alone. Investigators say she lived in a first-floor apartment here on Conlin Street in Bristol and had allegedly left her son abandoned in a neighbor's apartment on the second floor of the same building. That neighbor who found the child then called police. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, the neighbor texted with Hernandez asking her, "So you abandoned your son?" And she said yes. Hernandez also texting that she was not going to come back. It goes on to say she had packed clothes for the child and that she no longer wanted to care for him. According to the neighbor, Hernandez has 2 other children who live in the custody of their father. Now, as the mother faces child abandonment charges, it begs the question, what is the current legal course of action to take if you feel you can no longer care for your child? We asked Department of Children and Families Commissioner Vanessa Durantes.
So if you are a young mom or you are a mom that's overwhelmed with the care of your child, so just picking up the phone, dialing 211 will connect people to a myriad of services across the state. Connectingtocarect.org is another website that folks can put in where they are, where they're located, and services can pop up to be able to find, what it is that they may need to support their concerns.
And sometimes people need mental health counseling, or they want to talk about potentially putting the child up for adoption. Now, DCF can help you with that. We're going to put a number up on the screen, and you can see it, 1-800-842-2288. This happens to be National Adoption Month, November that is, and you can also talk to them about potentially being a foster parent. And finally, I want to remind you that in Connecticut, we do have a safe haven law. So if a child is less than 31 days old, you can take that baby to an emergency room, no questions asked. As far as Ms. Hernandez, she's due back in court December 20th. I'm Patricia Del Rio.
Guys, that's the story about this piece of crap. Miss Hernandez, I'm going to tell you something. I ain't feeling it at all. There's no sympathy. There's nothing you can tell me to make me understand why you committed such an act. It's no way. Because, I break things down and I look at them for what they are. Think about this, guys. The little boy was 2. She left him in an abandoned apartment over top of the one she stayed in. Well, or I guess she was leaving out. How did you get him to stay in there by himself? Seriously, what did you say to him? Oh, I'll be right back. And he sat there in confidence, waiting for you to return. And you closed the door with a clear sound mind, knowing you wasn't going to see him again. And you don't care what happened to him because you only care about your fucking self. How can you sleep at night? Then when she got busted, what did she say, guys? Oh, I ain't coming back. She packed his clothes there and stuff. That don't make it right. Now you dump your child like trash for it to be somebody else's responsibility. And thank God the grandmother came and said, I'll take custody of him. And I'm going to tell y'all something about that too. A lot of women out here take care of the kids that are not theirs. And a lot of men do too. Grandparents wind up fitting the bill from you having a lustful tryst with a man. And now the byproduct is their responsibility? No. Thank God they did come in, because that's the situation that I take, that hits home to me, because I was raised by my grandparents because of some unfortunate incident that happened between my mother and my father. So, I can sympathize with the fact that, and some of the stuff this little boy might go through as he gets older. In fact, he will go through it. My grandfather and grandmother raised me. I know they're not my parents. My mom was raised, almost like my sister. I know that's my mom, but I feel awkward calling her mom. It just throws everything off. My dad, I never knew him. Only seen him in a wedding picture. I don't know this man. And, somebody asked me a long time ago, what would you do if you seen your father? I would say nothing, because he's a stranger to me. And the longer somebody waits to introduce themselves back in somebody's lives, like, hey, I'm 50 years old. I have no reason to meet this man. I don't even want to see him. I have no curiosity. In fact, I'd probably be angry and knock his old ass out, because it took you 50 years to realize I existed. And then you to say, hey, you know what? It's time. Think about that. There are a lot of kids out here doing bad stuff and crazy stuff right now because of the confusion in their head, to where they don't understand the relationship of why their dad's not there, or why their mother treats them a certain way. So they seek leadership and to be accepted out in the street by other people that use them, till they use them up. This little boy is being raised by the grandma. Me personally, if I ever have to take responsibility and raise any of my kids for, them being neglectful and not doing what they're supposed to do, guess what? That child takes your place, and you are no longer my son or daughter. That sound right? Because now she takes the place of you. If I got to start off being a parent again, you don't exist. Do not come around this kid. Do not come around me. Because if I got to fix this and start this over, obviously I'm going to make a better version of what you are. From the mistakes you made, it's a do-over, and you don't exist. Man, I'm telling you, she had 2 other children that both live with the father. Why have another one when you know you don't want to deal with the child? Said it, I don't want to care for him no more. What she did, guys, was the equivalent of having a dog or cat in a car that you don't want to care for no more, pulling over the side of the road, just throwing them out. You're on your own, fend for yourself. These are human beings that you pushed out of you with the help of somebody else. And that's another thing. Why can't you just give them to the dad? The other ones you already seen it. A lot of times, women that do this type of stuff, they usually meet a guy that ain't got no kids. And the kid, 2 years old, he still needs attention. She can't get out and be with the guy like she want to be with the guy. Or the guy might be like, hey, I like you and stuff like that. But hey, we can't do this because she got a kid. And then it bothers them. And they say, you know what? I'm sick of this. Get rid of the kid so you can chase the damn man. A lot of us come from broken situations, but they were guardian angels that came in out of love and helped us, because they know that we have value as children. even though we as ourselves don't know that yet. This woman got 2 children living with the dad. Don't know about the relationship or not, but you would think it would bother her. This one here that I have, the 2-year-old, I'm not going to make the same mistake. If you look at her in the picture, she looked like she well fed. She got to let shit in the face. She can afford that. He's a 2-year-old child. He can eat what you eat. If anybody go hungry, it'd be you taking care of him. There are a lot of mothers out here that deal with the grind. 5, 6, 7 kids. Man, these women nowadays, man, and y'all agree, are not like the ones back in the day. It's like the whole concept of, they endured, they pushed through because they understood people depended on them. Daddy, we ain't here or whatever, but I can't worry about that because I have to care for you guys. She turned her back right on the child. Turned her back right on him. 2 years old on the planet, and he ain't worthy of your love no more. Now your dumb ass locked up, and your mom is taking care of your kid. And when your child get old enough, he gonna ask questions of why I live with my grandma and why my mom didn't want me. Where's my dad? You see this? It's a big web of confusion that's sown out of 2 people just being lustful and just having sex and without no plan if anything goes wrong. This is a problem we have nowadays. This is a problem we have. It's like everybody think they know everything. Everybody is out for self. That was a selfish move, and it wasn't a move of desperation. They brought up mental illness. She ain't crazy. She ain't crazy. You was crazy enough. If you was crazy, you wasn't crazy when you folded his clothes up neatly and packed his bag so whoever found him know they can take him. You wasn't crazy enough to say, hey, you know what? I don't want my kid after being discovered that he was left there when you closed the door in his damn face and lied to him to get him to sit still and rode off into the sunset, not thinking twice that I just could have killed my son. Wasn't crazy then. Wasn't crazy when they confronted you with it like, hey, what are you doing? What I feel like, F you and that kid, deal with it, and walked off. Man, they need to have permits. You need to sign, like, you have a marriage license. You have a license to have children, man. For real. It sounds stupid, but come on, look at this. Look at this. I would dock her pay every time, every cent that little boy does, where the grandma got to take care of it. I would charge her, take it right out of her pay. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you something. The older you get, the more money matters because it don't come too frequently. Taking care of a baby nowadays is super expensive. And here this lady, presumably in her 40s, 50s, now got to go another 18 years dealing with somebody else's responsibility and trying to make a normal human being be something in the world with a lot of questions in his head of why he's with her and why he's not with his mom and where's his dad. Confusion. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope grandmom does right by this kid and, he understands. People do love him. And I hope he don't deal with his mom. If she's smart, she wouldn't come around because she don't care about him anyway. See you in the next video. Take care.